Yo, we are back, confidently flawed. Danny, Brooke, we are here to give you some tips and tricks to live your happiest and healthiest life. And last week on our episode, we talked about breakfast. We talked about the morning. But what we didn't talk about is like what is the good morning routine? You hear this a lot, like, oh, I have my avid morning routine that I do every single morning, or this or that. Or some people, it's the opposite. They're just so chaotic all the time and they have no routine, no structure, and it's just like helter skelter, like all over the place, right? And then they're stressed the rest of the day. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to go over what our morning routines are, and maybe you can learn something from that. My routine's pretty basic,
Mm.
but to me it works. So, but I'm gonna go to you first, Brooke. Like, what is it? What is your morning routine? And then somebody looking to create some level of a routine, what do they need to know, look at, do in order to kind of create that themselves?
Yeah, so I would say my morning routine is not basic. I feel like my morning routine it's not even like this big extravagant thing, but like I'm very out there in a lot of the things that I do. Um, I talked about him last week because again, I'm on a Gary Brecker kick, but his most famous saying that he always says is aging is the aggressive pursuit of comfort. So basically, you're going to age if you are pursuing comfort. So doing things that are uncomfortable. So I try to do the uncomfortable things in the morning because that's going to just start the trajectory of my day. So I would say in the last 3 months, this has been my routine. And like I've noticed a dramatic change in my mood and my energy and just overall health. Breakfast, as I talked about last week, is so important, and I prioritize my breakfast in the morning. I like am a breakfast person. That's like what I just like thrive off of. So I aim for about 25 to 30 grams of protein for my breakfast. So usually what I do is like I'll wake up and I actually recently have been doing this and I'm loving it, but there's actually an app on your phone. So scrolling, as much as I want to sit here and say I don't wake up and scroll, like I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, like I do it sometimes. I wake up, my alarm, I look at my phone, I got all these text messages, I got all these notifications, and like I go through them. I try as hard as I can to not do them, but it happens. But one thing that I've recently done that I'm, really excited about and I'm noticing a difference with is there's actually a setting on your phone where you can put a red filter over your phone. And the reason why like a lot of phones are not good for your morning routine is because the blue light like messes with your circadian rhythm. So having that red light actually filters a lot of that and kind of helps. It doesn't like spike your kind of like cortisol, which is like mess with your circadian rhythm. So if I do get up and scroll, at least I have the red filter on, so it really makes a difference. But I do try to get right up and I try to not scroll. And then I wake up and I do my cold plunge. So I sit in a cold plunge for 3 to 6 minutes. I shoot for about 4 minutes, as long as it's under 50 degrees. Right now it's winter, so it's pretty dang cold. But I just get in, I sit in, and I sit in there for about 4 minutes, and it has been wonderful for my mood and my energy. And then I make my breakfast. Like I said last week, my breakfast is usually 3 eggs and some slices of like chicken sausage or turkey bacon, and I am trying to actually reduce my carbs, but usually I will do then also my homemade sourdough toast with some avocado. And that sounds like a lot of food, but like I notice a difference when I don't eat that much. But lately I have not been doing my sourdough bread. And while I am eating my bread, I have red light therapy that sits in front of me. And for just the whole time I eat breakfast, red light therapy is wonderful for natural circadian rhythm, for energy, for mood. There's so many benefits to it. So that's what I do. And then usually on my days where like I'm working from home, I will wait about an hour for my food to settle and then I will get my workout in. On days where I am not working from home, I go to work. I have very, very difficultly given up my love for morning workouts because it just didn't fit in with my schedule to be able to work out before work and not be able to eat. So I usually then will, obviously do my routine. Yes, I brush my teeth in the morning. Yes, I'll shower. I don't really get ready. So you're not going to really find me putting on makeup. Maybe I'll put my hair in a cute little bun like I have on right now. And I'll go to work or I'll go about my day. But that's pretty much my morning routine. Like my main things is I try to get right out of bed. my cold plunging, my breakfast, my red light therapy. I'm not a coffee drinker, but like if I do drink coffee, usually I will like make it at like 10 in the afternoon. It's usually not in the morning. And then I will take my supplements in the morning. And that's my morning.
Yeah, that's a lot, Brooke. You got a lot going on there. Busy in the morning. So mine is the complete opposite of that. So for probably the last, I'd say 7 years, my morning routine is I get up, brush my teeth I get up right away. I never stay in bed. Um, and I go out, I get 2 big glasses of water, 16 ounces each. I take my supplements then. I make my coffee, but I can't drink it yet because like you, I do my most uncomfortable things first. The things I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to do, I don't want to do, right? I make sure I do them first, and I've learned the hard way. If not, I'm going to push it off. I'm going to push it off. I'm going to push it off, right? So I also do that. But this is what I do. I brush my teeth. I go out there. I get my 32 ounces of water, take my supplements. I sit down and I start working within 10 minutes of waking up every day, 7 days a week. The last 7 years, I've never taken a day off. It doesn't matter if I'm on vacation, anything. I wake up very early. I do it. That is what I love to do. I love doing it. It is what keeps me going, I guess, and just keeps my momentum flowing with everything to where I I don't have any like for me personally, like I'll probably like I have a cold plunge on the way as well. I'm gonna be doing it with Brooke. Um, but for me, like I don't need to do my workout first. I don't need to do these different things. I love all that stuff and I believe in all that stuff. But for me, like I would do a lot of that stuff later in the day, right?
Yeah.
I love when I'm fresh, when I'm not as a business owner and as a parent, like I'm bombarded by distractions all the time, right? Like I come into the gym and like people are coming asking questions and this and that, which is fine, right? But it's hard to get into a rhythm, right? So for me,
Yeah.
I love waking up at 4:30 and the world is quiet and I can just think on my most critical things, right? I love
Yeah.
it. So I do my most important things and then I can have my caffeine as like my reward, right? So that's my thing. Now, the only thing I will say I have been doing now is I have started to do my 10 to 15 minutes of like walking before I do any of that. So I will go down onto a treadmill and I'll walk on an incline for like 10 to 15 minutes. I generally get into a better like mindset too. And I'll listen to like a podcast or a audiobook while I'm doing that. But outside of that, it's I get up and I start working within 10 minutes usually, like that's just what I do. And I never take a day off from that. It's because my kids aren't up anyway, so it's not like I'm missing time with them. I
Yeah.
just thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah. I think something that's really important if you're going to take away anything from this episode, it's that we're not going to give you like, this is how you have to have your morning. Like, I don't think that was the intention of this episode. And if someone is going to sit there and tell you this is what you should do, I would say run, honestly, because to me, your morning, like you have to build that routine for yourself. And some people are more morning people where they're more creative in the morning. They're more, strong in the morning. They're going to be more efficient in the morning. And there's some people who it's not till the evening where they're more creative and they're stronger and they're more, so for someone to sit there and say, you have to do all this crazy stuff in the morning to be successful, that's a line of BS. Like you have to do what's going to work for you. But I think if you're going to take away anything from this, it's that you should have some sort of routine. It doesn't need to be crazy. Like your routine could literally be as simple as you wake up, you brush your teeth, you jump in the shower, you go to work, right? Like if you're a girl, make sure you eat breakfast. But, it could be as simple as that. Or it can be this elaborate, I wake up, I read my Bible, I, do my gratitude journals, I drink my cup of coffee while I eat my breakfast, then I cold plunge. Like it could be elaborate if it works for you. But I think no matter what, you got to do what's going to work for you. So this episode is not for us to sit there and tell you, you must do this, this, this. I think it's a matter of we encourage you to find something that's going to work for you. And if it works for you and you feel like you're going about your day and, you're fulfilled and you have, energy and you're motivated, obviously we know life happens and some things kind of get in the way, but If you feel like that's how you're feeling after your morning, stick with it. If you're feeling like your days go on every single day and you're just all over the place and your mind can't think, and I would say one of my recommendations is like look at your morning. Is your morning combobulated? Is your morning all over the place? Well, if that's the case, then maybe you try to build a routine, even if it's something literally so simple. And if you don't even know where to start, just pick one thing. Pick one thing that you think might serve your day, whether that is eat a good breakfast, whether that is, I mean, obviously we're getting up. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth. Hopefully you're showering or getting ready to some extent. I know some people shower at nighttime and whatever, but hopefully you're doing the basics. But if you're like, I don't have a morning routine, I don't know where to start, my suggestion would be one thing. Pick one thing to incorporate into your morning, whether that be 5 seconds of breathing, whether that be, getting out of bed and taking a cold shower or getting into a cold plunge or, getting up and just making breakfast or getting up and making the coffee pot, like whatever that's going to look like. Like just find one thing. And then if you feel like it's going good, then maybe add another thing. And whatever's going to work for you is going to work for you. So again, I don't want to use this episode to tell you what to do. Hopefully it's just an encouragement. If you heard my morning, you heard Danny's morning, maybe get some tips, maybe think we're crazy for doing all these things or doing maybe not so many things, and find what's going to work for you and build that throughout your life. Because I am a firm believer of morning routines. Danny, I think you are too, but it can literally be as little or as extravagant. It's truly going to be what's going to work for you.
I couldn't agree more, Brooke. I think it's about the structure more than anything. It's not that Brooke's way is the best way or my way is the best way or this guy on Instagrams is the best way. Like it really doesn't matter. It's about creating structure and routine because we thrive in structure and routine. And
Mhm.
a caveat, like I'll even tell, like I even recommend to do this for bedtime. Make the same
Yes.
like bedtime ritual the same, and just keep it consistent. Like if there's anything, it's create it and do a consistent routine over and over because it's going to set the tone for your day. So find a way to create some type of plan, even if it's some simplistic, consistently do it. And like I would wake up at the same time every day so you can keep that
Mhm.
routine always running the same way, right?
Yep.
Like if you can do that, it's just going to set the tone for the rest of your day so you are more likely to be successful with your health and fitness, with your career, with your relationships, things like that, because you are setting that structure early on in your day.
Couldn't agree more. Well, take this as, maybe a stepping stone for you to get a little bit of motivation to find that morning routine. If you feel that someone needs help to find a morning routine, please share this episode with them, share it on social media, share it with your friends. We truly appreciate it. And as always, we don't have ads on this show because we truly just want to get the message out to you guys who are listening. But if you could do us a favor, if you haven't yet, and give us a rating and review, it would truly mean the world to us. So thank you for always tuning in. And we hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll be back next week with another episode of Confidently Flawed.